Dear student, myself G.U. Pandil, I welcome to all of you for this online lecture during the lockdown period. Dear student, I have already delivered the online lectures on the same unit number 5 for various topics. Now today I am delivering the another online lecture for all of you on the topic quality of service, that is QoS, and the techniques to improve the quality of service. Before touch with this quality of service, we should first understand the concept of quality of service, that is QoS, which is indeed an important aspect of the computer networking. That means what? QoS is very much important in the computer networking. So what is quality of service? So quality of service is a term. It's not only the present in the single layer but also present in the another layers. Quality of service and conjunction is a major factor in total 3 layers. That means what? The quality of service is the term is not only present in the single layer but also present in the another layers of the network models also. That is in ISO as well as in the TCP/IP reference models also. QoS and congestion is a major factor in all these 3 layers, namely called as a data link layer, network layer, and the transport layer. Before this, we should first understand the traffic parameters which deals with the quality of service. That means that quality of service depends on these traffic parameters. Out of which the first traffic parameter is average data rate. The average data rate is nothing but the number of bits sent during the period of time divided by the number of seconds in that period. That means what? The number of bits which are sent during the period of time divided by the number of seconds in that period. Mathematically, we can write this theoretical statement in such a manner that average, that is AVG data rate, is equal to amount of data divided by the time. That means amount of data or bits sent during the period of time, and time is nothing but the number of seconds in that period. That's why we can write average data rate is equal to amount of data divided by time. The another traffic parameter is the peak data rate. The peak data rate defines the maximum data rate of the traffic. Peak means maximum or at peak points or maximum point. That means what? The peak data rates defines the maximum data rate of the traffic. It indicates peak bandwidth that the network requires for the traffic to pass through without changing its data flow. This is the peak data rates. Now the third traffic parameter is maximum burst size. The maximum burst size normally refers to the maximum length of the time the traffic is generated at the peak rate. That means what? The maximum length of the time that the traffic is generated at the peak rate. That means at peak rate, whatever the maximum traffic is generated, this is about the maximum burst size. Now the next traffic parameter is effective bandwidth. As its name indicates, bandwidth is required very much important. Bandwidth is required is very important. Bandwidth requirement is very important. The effective bandwidth is the bandwidth that the network does that the network needs to allocate for the flow of traffic. That means with the help of bandwidth or effective bandwidth, we can allocate for the flow of different traffics. The effective bandwidth is basically a function of 3 values, that is average data rate, peak data rate, and the maximum burst size. That means effective bandwidth is the function of what? First 3 traffic parameters are the average data rate, peak data rate, and the maximum burst size. This is about the effective bandwidth. Now we are having a good to process further to understand the term quality of service in very much detail. So quality of service, that is QoS, is nothing but the quality which every flow seeks to attains. That means, in other words, we can say that smooth movement without any congestions. If the movement of the packets or data packets is very smooth without any congestion, that means without any traffic, is nothing but the good quality of service. For achieving the quality of service, it is indeed imperative to maintain or control the traffic at different nodes in the network. That means what? For if you are achieving the better quality of service, that means you must control the traffic at different nodes in the network. Thus, various different traffic management techniques have been deployed to do so. Some of the factors which can eventually help us to understand this topic with more clarity are connection establishment delay. The time difference mainly between the instant at which transport connection is requested and the instant at which it is confirmed is called as connection establishment delay. That means what? The time difference mainly between the instant at which the transport connections is requested and the instant at which it is confirmed called as connection establishment delay. Means when it will be required and when it will be confirmed. In between that, whatever the delay is occurred, that delay is called as the establishment delay. The shorter the delay, the better the quality of service. And if the larger the delay, we must have a poor quality of service. So for good quality of service, the connection establishment delay must be small. Now the next is connection establishment failure probability. It is the probability that connection is not established even after the maximum connection establishment delay. This can be due to network congestion, lack of table space or some other problems. That means what? The probability at which the connection is failure. It is the probability that the connection is not established even after the maximum connection establishment delay is there. That is about the connection establishment failure probability. Now the next is throughput. It mainly measures the number of bytes of user data transfer per second. That means the number of data packets are transmitted per unit time. That is called as throughput. It is also measured over the some time interval. It is measured separately for each directions. That's about the throughput. Transist delay. That's name indicate transist delay means the delay which is occurred during the transition. That's called as a transist delay. It is the time between a message being sent by the transport user on the source machine and it is being received by the transport user in the destination machine. That is the delay in between both is called as a transition or transist delay. Residual error ratio. It measures the number of lost or distorted messages as a fraction of the total messages sent. It is the ratio or it is measured the number of lost or distorted message as a fraction of the total message sent. Whatever the total message we have to send, out of which the number of message are lost or distorted, it's called as residual error ratio. Ideally the value of this ratio should be 0 and practically it should be as small as possible. Priority. This parameter provides a way for the user to show that some of its connections are more important or have higher priority than the others. As its name indicates, priority, we are providing or given the priority to the more important connections or high priority connections than the other connections. This is important while handling the congestions. This is very much important while congestions is occurred, and in that congestions we must, if we already or predefined priority levels are defined, so that we are try to reduce the congestion. That's why this is important while handling the congestions, because the higher priority connection should get service before the lower priority connections. That means if the priority is allocated to the packets according to their queues, so higher priority packets or queues are connections should get the service first, and lower priority connections are get the last. That is all about the priority. The next is resilience. Due to the internal problem or congestions, the transport layer spontaneously terminates a connection. That is about the resilience. Means a transport layer maybe spontaneously terminate the connections due to the internal problem or congestions called as a resilience. The resilience parameter gives us probability of such a terminations. Reliability. Lack of reliability means losing of packets or acknowledgement. Means if we are losing the particular packets, means we are not having the good reliability. Being sent on its successful reach to destinations, means if we are expecting the good reliability, that means what, the being sent on its successful reach to the destinations, which entails retransmissions, means which tells us that what, if it losing of packets or occurs, or negative acknowledgements are there, so it will use the new concept that is called as a retransmissions, or it tells us that what, you have to do the retransmission policy or retransmission concept. However, the sensitivity of any application programs or to reliability is not the same. That means what, the for every each and every application programs, reliabilities are different. That means it is not the same. Jitter. Jitter is the variation in delay for packets associated with the same flow. Higher the jitter, means the difference between the delays or of packets of data is large. Low jitter means the variation is small. That means jitter is the variation in delay for data packets associated with the same flow. That is about the jitter. Now we should understand some of the factors that can play a very important or crucial role in nullifying the effect of congestions at any node of networking device, and thus improving the quality of service, that is QoS. The most common methods which are generally used in the networking to improve the quality of service are, first one is FIFO queuing method, that is first in first out queuing method. Next is a priority queuing methods. Third one is a weighted fair queuing methods. Fourth one is a resource reservation method, and the last is a admission control method. Now let us see one by one in detail. The first method is called as a FIFO queuing, that is first in first out queuing method to improve the quality of service. So in first in first out, that is in FIFO queuing method, packets waits in a buffer or queue until the node or switching device, for example router or switch, is ready to process them. That means if during the process, if the router or switch is ready to process the packets, then and then it will be flow. Otherwise it still waited in a queue or in a buffer. If the average arrival rate is higher than the average processing rate, that means if the rate of arrival of the data packets is higher than the average processing rate of the data packets, then the queue will fill up and new packets will be discarded. Then means in that conditions, if the arrival rate of the data packets is higher than the average processing rate of the data packets, so in that conditions the queue will fill up. That means queue is full and it avoids to enter the new packets. That means the new packets will be discarded. Only one buffer is required for this. This is the specialty of this method, that is FIFO queuing method, having only one buffer or queue. FIFO queue is familiar to those who have had to wait for a metro at a metro stations. This is a quite practical example for all of us regarding FIFO queuing method. That means first in first out. Those who are first means out it first. Now the second techniques to improve the quality of service is priority queuing quality of service. As its name indicates, priority, again we are giving the priority to the some of the data packets, that is called as higher priority packet, and some of the data packets are lower priority packets. So in this queuing method, packets are first assigned to a priority levels. That means we must assign a priority to each and every packets. Each priority level has its own queue. This is the another specialty, or this is the specialty for this method. That means each and every priority level having a different queue or buffer. The packets are in the highest priority queue are processed first. Means those packets where who are in the highest priority queue are processed first. Packets in the lowest priority queues are processed last. The system does not stop servicing or surviving the queue until it is empty. A priority queue can generally provide better quality of service than the FIFO queue because higher priority traffic such as multimedia can reach the destination with less delay. That means if the priorities are allocated to the some of the data packets, that is a higher priority packets, that higher priority packets are processed first. That means multimedia traffic are get to the destination first without any delay, so it will be prioritize. However, there is a potential drawback. If there is a continuous flow from high priority queue, the packets in the lower priority queues will never get a chance to processed. Threshold is used, and then according to the priority, packets are accepted. This is the drawback of this priority queuing method. That means what? If the continuous flow from the higher priority queue is there, the packets in the lower packet is never get the chance to process it. That means the threshold is used, or thresholding is used over there, and then according to the priority, packets are accepted or processed. Now the third techniques to improve the quality of service is weighted fair queuing. A better scheduling method is weighted fair queuing. That means what? It is also called as a scheduling method, is it? In this technique, the packets are still assigned to the different classes and admitted to the different queues. For providing better quality of service, for high priority packets, having high weightage is given. That means what? For better quality of service, you must assign the higher priority to the packets with higher weightage. The queues are weighted based on the priority of the queues. That means higher priority queues are first, and lower priority queues are then next, are also weighted according to the priority. Higher the priority means higher the weight. If we are assigning the higher priority, that means that packets having higher priority, that means that packets with higher priority and higher weight also. The system mainly processes the packets in each queue in a round robin fashion, with the number of packets selected from each queue based on the corresponding weight. If any system does not impose priority on these classes, then all the weights can be equal. In this way, we can have a fair queuing with priority also. That means what? In this case, suppose some of the higher priority, or some of the priority level with higher weights or lower weights data packets are not processed properly, and system does not impose the priority of to that particular classes. That means that weighted or weights which we are assigned over there are must be equal. In this way, we are having the fairness in the queuing with their priority. Next method to improve the quality of service is resource reservation. That means resources are definitely are required for implementing the any method or any process, and reservation is nothing but for future use. So resource reservation, in which a flow of data is basically needs resources such as a buffer, bandwidth, CPU time, and so on to maintain the steady flow. That means what? For maintaining the steady flow of data packet during the process, we must have the reservation of the resources which will be required for processing of the flow of data packets. That means what? The resources are including buffer, bandwidth, and CPU times. The quality of service, that is QoS, is improved if these resources can be reserved beforehand. And the last technique to improve the quality of service is nothing but admission control. As its name indicates, admission control, it controls the admissions of new data packets in the queue or in the network. But when and where and how, that is the most important question in our mind before starting or before learning or while learning this admission control process. It is the mechanism used by router or a switch, means router or switch or any other networking device, to accept or reject the flow based on the predefined parameters called as a flow specifications. Means admission control, it accept or reject the particular flow of data packets based on the predefined parameters called as a flow specifications. That means whatever the flow over there, and we are labeling the data packets 1 to 3 or higher priority to lower priority, so it is a predefined. According to this predefined flow specification, admission control process accept or reject the particular flow. Before a router accept any flow for processing, it must check the flow specification to check if its capacity in terms of bandwidth, CPU, buffer size, or CPU speeds, etc., and its previous commitment to the other flow can handle the new flow thus implements an admission control for flow of traffic. That means what? It reduces the particular traffic by controlling the admission of new data packets into the network. That's why we can call it as admission controls.